One of the hardest decisions I've made recently was to get up here and tell a story tonight. I am a little rusty. I have been home almost all year, babysitting my granddaughter 3 to 4 nights a week, getting her to bed, doing all of those things, getting her up in the morning and off to school. So my stories have been like reading Little House on the Prairie or Stuart Little, which is fun, but not quite as exciting as other things could be. The best decision I've made recently was that banana pudding ice cream I just ate. If you haven't eaten it, it is absolutely amazing. My family are not good at making decisions. Your family may be like this. You can decide you're going to go out to dinner, but nobody will make a decision on where you're going. And it takes an hour to decide where you're going, and the 10-year-old is the one who makes the decision. Yeah. And then when you sit down at the table, no one can decide what they want to eat. You know, like Lucy, who changed her mind with each person who placed an order, she changed her mind. That's sort of the way it works until you get to a restaurant and you find one thing you like, and every time you go there, you eat the same thing, so you don't have to decide what else to eat. Well, that's the way decisions are. But when my children were younger, the fad was, this is 40-some years ago, that you allow children to make choices in what they do and how they do it. Nowadays, I don't think parents allow children to make choices. I think parents allow children to tell them what to do every moment of their day. Just saying. But the learning to make choices. Now, my ex-husband did not quite get the concept of giving choices. He would say things to the kids like, "So, you want to get ready for bed?" What's the answer to that question to any child? No. And then where do you go with it? Or, you want to take your bath now? No. Yeah. He would say things like, "Do you want to go to the park?" And of course the answer would be yes, but there's no caveat on the end of when you're going to leave or what you're going to do afterward or the expectations while they were there. I mean, the bedtime question, it's kind of like, do you want to wear your pink pajamas or your blue pajamas to bed? They have a choice. They can make a choice, but it's clear they're going to bed. You can ask them things like the park. Do you want to go to the park for an hour? Or would you rather get an ice cream? That's something they have to make a decision on. And a lot of the times it was the ice cream and not the park. Or you could say, if you want to go to the park, when we get home, you're going to have to go right upstairs and get your bath. Do you still want to go to the park? Most of the time it was yes, but they knew the expectation that was coming after we left the park. Those are the kind of choices that you need, my opinion, you need to give children. Not a wide open, whatever they want to do, and also not so narrow they don't feel like they've made a choice. It's like in the morning when it's time to get ready for school. My granddaughter at this point in time wears a uniform, but she can decide if she wants to wear pants and a shirt or if she wants to wear a dress. You know, those kind of things. And it's a choice, but at the same time there's an outcome that's coming. Recently, I asked her what she wanted for her birthday. And I had the caveat that Yaya doesn't make a lot of money, so you're not going to get the same kind of things from Yaya as you get from those other grandparents who give everything in the world that you don't really need, you know? So what she decided is she wanted a cupcake for breakfast for her birthday. Okay, I can do her cupcake for breakfast once. Her normal breakfast, which she generally will not change, is a dippy egg and toast. And if I try to talk her into anything else, it's a dippy egg and toast, and let's get this over with. So on the first day I had her after her birthday, I brought out this cupcake. I thought it was going to be fantastic. Chocolate cupcake with that whipped cream icing all over it, and the icing was blue. And I gave her this cupcake, and she took one bite and started crying. What's wrong? I don't like it. Why don't you like it? I don't like this kind of icing. Well, you never told me what kind of icing you like. But you have a choice to eat the cupcake, or I'll take it away, and then I'll have to make you breakfast, which then made us late. So had to rush her through breakfast, which she did not appreciate. And then we had to get on the shoes and brush our teeth, which she could not find one of her shoes, which they were right there 15 minutes ago. What happened to them? We finally are going out the door, and I look at her and realize we'd never done her hair. So it's like, we've got to stop and do her hair. And at this point in time, she'd had like 5 major meltdowns. And I mean, major meltdowns. I don't know what I'm going to do, and this isn't right. And then okay. We got in the car, and she's still blaming me because I didn't buy the right kind of cupcake. And I said, I'm sorry, that's what I chose. You know, there's nothing I can do about it. Well, I need another cupcake. No, you don't. I fulfilled my part of the bargain. I gave you a cupcake. But as we're in the line to drop her off at school, just as we turn the corner to where the drop-off line is, there's like 10 cars in line and 20 behind you, she remembers that she did not get her permission slip signed for the field trip. And she has another major breakdown. And I'm trying to talk her down from this as we're slowly moving up in the line to go to school. This child refused to get out of the car. The teacher standing there with the door open, come on, Mary, I'm not good enough, I can't do it, I can't. You know, and I tried to explain to her, I'd call her parents and have her come up to the school and sign the, no, it has to be that one, it can't be another one, it has to be. And it's like, okay, where's the one that's supposed to be signed? It's in her backpack, which she had obviously never showed her parents, or her parents have never looked in her backpack. And when I looked in the backpack, I think it was a combination of both because there was paper shoved in there. So I told her, I said, okay, you get out of the car and go to school. Let's take a couple of deep breaths. I pulled around the corner at that point. Let's take a couple of deep breaths, and then you can get out of the car and you can go to school. Well, she got out of the car, and she forgot her backpack. She came back and got her backpack. And then she started to go to the school door, and she'd forgot to close the door. And she came back, and she closed the door. And then she started to go in the door, and she came back, and she opened the door, and she said, I forgot to close the door. And it's like, yeah, that was obvious. And then she started giggling, because she had forgotten those things, and I had promised her I would take the permission slip to her parents and have it signed. She went into school. She'd finally made the choice to calm down and to relax and to have a good day at school. She did have a good day at school, but when I got her that evening, she immediately began berating me for the fact that I got her the wrong kind of cupcake. And she expected me to go to the store and buy another cupcake. Well, like sorry, that's not a choice we're going to make, and that's not a decision I'm willing to do, is given to you every time you have a temper tantrum and you can't make a decision and you can't accept the decisions that have to be made in your life.